So P4, we're going to review lines. You guys know lines, slope, y-intercept, blah, blah, blah. So there's how you find the slope of a line. Quick refresher. Subtract the y values, that's on top. Subtract the x values, that's in the denominator. And the order doesn't really matter. You could do the second point minus the first point, or the first point minus the second point. And if you have a vertical line, then you know that 2 points on the line will have the same x value, x coordinate. And so we say that slope is undefined, and you could see why. If the x coordinates are the same and you subtract them, you get 0, and you're trying to divide by 0. And you should know that we cannot divide by 0. Until you take calculus. And then in calculus, we say, oh, we lied to you, you could divide by 0. What? Kind of. It's a trick. But you can't get away with dividing by 0. All right. So go and find the slope of the line going through those 2 points and sketch a graph of the line. And again, feel free to talk to each other. Share some answers. All right, what's the slope?
Is it -3/8?
-3/8? Oops, I thought I had the answer there. Anybody else get that? -3/8?
Yeah.
So we're just gonna subtract these guys, right? So it's y minus y, x minus x. So that's 4 minus 1. We have 3 minus 5. 4 minus 1 is 3. 15 minus -8. So I agree. Very good. And did you sketch a graph? So negative 3 and 4 is going to be up here. And 5 and 1. I'll do that right there. And watch this amazing straight line. Look at these mad skills. What? You know you're amazed. All right, very good. So here's a quick refresher on the 4 different ways we could write a linear equation. We have point slope form. Y minus y1 is m times x minus x1. Slope-intercept form, that's the one we used up and down in Algebra 1. Y equal mx plus b. General form we use more in Algebra 2. Standard form we use in Algebra 2 when we're solving equations. So you could go ahead and copy those down or commit them to memory. And then I'll have you practice on the next screen. All right. So now that you have all those 4 different forms, find the equation line passing through these 2 points and write that equation in all 4 forms. Easy, easy, easy.
Mr. Garcia, Elizabeth said if you can let her in the meeting.
She's what was she? Gonzalez, Marquez. I just clicked on admit and then she disappeared. So tell her try again. So I don't know if Zoom kicked her out, but I did see her name and I did click admit.
She's here.
All right, what's the slope? Anybody know the slope?
Is it 4/7?
I'm hearing 4/7. Very good, very good. So anyone have point slope form? Not yet. It's too difficult. Everyone's asleep. What about Eva? Is Eva in the room? I just realized you guys all mute yourselves, right? I could unmute you and catch you doing something else, like snoring. Let's see. Yesenia, I think that's right. Let's check. Y minus 6 equals 4/7 times x minus 3. Very good. And what about slope-intercept form?
Y equals 4/7x.
That's a good start. You're missing the rest of it.
Is it y equals 4/7x plus 30/7?
There we go. All right, so we could just distribute here. So distribute, and then add the 6, and you'll get the 30/7. Right, so if you distribute here, you get negative 12/7. But then we need to add this 6, right? So if we're adding 6, but we want a common denominator, multiply, that's going to give us a 42. So negative 12 plus 42 gives us the 30. Good. And then what about general form? Be careful. And Francisco, I would take that. You don't have to change it to a mixed number. You could leave it 30/7. But if you really want to divide it and write 4 2/7, that's okay. Anyone got general form? There should be no fractions or decimals in general form.
It's 4x minus 7y plus 30.
Almost. I think you gave me standard form.
Oh, 4x minus 7y equals 30. Wait, I know I said it right the first time. 4x minus 7y equal, oh, plus 30 equals 0.
There it is. Right, so general form is always equal to 0. And then the other one you gave us was standard form, right? Very good. And if you had your signs different, that's okay. Some textbooks will let this be negative, the 4x. So it just depends. Some books will allow this to be negative. Some books say it has to be positive. So either way, I can read them both. But general form, this does have to be 0. And standard form, the constant's on the right, and then your variables are on the left. All right, good. Awesome. Now let's briefly talk about parallel lines. If two non-vertical lines are parallel, what do we know? They have the same
Slope.
slope, but different y-intercepts, right? That makes sense. If you have this, this, and this, same direction means same slope, different y-intercepts. I just messed it all up. It's supposed to be arrows. All right. And all vertical lines are parallel. That should be obvious. Parallel, vertical is parallel, right? Any questions on parallel lines? No, just know they got the same thing. Perpendicular lines. What do we know about perpendicular lines? Their slopes are
Opposite.
and
Reciprocals.
reciprocal, opposite reciprocal. So if I have a slope of 2, what would be the perpendicular slope?
-1/2.
-1/2. And if I have a slope of, what's a tricky one? Negative, I don't want that. Go back. -1/3. Then what's the perpendicular slope?
3.
3. If that's negative, the opposite is positive. If that's 1/3, the reciprocal is 3. Very good. And so you'll need to know that for your homework. You'll be writing equations of lines. If they ask you for a parallel line, same slope. If they ask for perpendicular lines, opposite reciprocal.